Our next tool takes that one step further, and that's adjustments and hue saturation, one of my personal favorites. I'm sure you'll find your own favorites as you work through. In this we have, again, the ability to work with different channels, our reds, our yellows, our greens, our cyans, blues, and magentas. We're working with our colors. And we can work with the hue of the color. That's the actual color value in there. The saturation, that's how much color, and the lightness. You work with all of those. And this is a nice way if we wanted to bring in a little more like our vibrance tool. I just bring the saturation up a little bit. And I can adjust the lightness in here a little bit. And do a trick similar to what we just did in our previous demo. Let's say we wanted to shift the color. Just move the hue button and notice how all of the colors shift. You can see where they go too if you watch the color bar at the bottom down here. The top color bar is the original color bar. As I move this towards the darker blues here, notice how the colors are shifting. If here's our darker blue, notice how the yellow is shifting more towards that dark blue. So we're shifting the colors. Basically, if you are moving your slider control here, this moves in the opposite direction of what your slider control does up there, just as an example. You actually can come in here and change the overall color value of your image. Sometimes very useful. I've found a lot of times on images a little bit more saturation helps, and if it's just a little off, I can use this to adjust. Let's say I didn't want to have that kind of pinky color in here. I can bring it up just a little bit, and I can get rid of a little bit of that yellowy tinge I have just by pulling it a little bit to the right, and it gets rid of that yellow tinge and puts it a little more towards the white in here that I like. And I can make it just a little brighter as well, or a little darker. Notice as you go brighter on the lightness, you lose contrast. So you might want to use several tools. Maybe use this first and then go back and put some contrast back in again using the brightness and contrast control, which I tend to do as well. So you can use this to adjust that, or you can adjust individual color ranges. Let's say I want to work with the cyans and I wanted to boost the cyans in my image. You can see where they are. There they are. There are a lot of them in the water and up at the top up here. You can actually adjust or control that level. So I can do a little more on the cyan. I can come in here with my blues and do a little more on the blues. Go clear to the top, you can kind of see where they are. Again, a little bit in the sky up there. So you can use this to increase or push the colors in certain ranges as well. Now another fun thing about this tool is that you can click on colorize and it converts the image over into a single color tone. You then can play with your saturation and the hue. This is a nice way to get an old-fashioned looking picture actually, just stay down in the sepia tone range somewhere. Bring your lightness up a little bit. You get a nice kind of old-fashioned look. And in any color in here, you can go through all your color ranges if you want to. You can go the blues in here, kind of a steel duotone effect, just like that. You can wash it out or go real dark on it. Notice on the lightness, when you go to the left, you're darkening down the light side. The blacks stay about where they are. If you go to the right side of this, the lights stay about where they are and the darks get lightened up. So you kind of work on those two halves. One more thing about these tools, and there's the original and there's the preview version just like that. I'm going to come in here and make a selection on this. I'm just going to do an ellipse right in the middle, just like that, as we're just sitting on this one background layer. So I made an ellipse. This is our selection. And let's go to this, and I'm going to colorize that, and you can see that this effect is placed inside of a selection. This holds true for all of these different adjustment tools up here. They all can be used inside of an individual selection if you wanted to. So you can come in and make a careful selection and then use these tools to adjust just a part of an image if you want to without affecting the rest of the image as well. And let's just cancel that out. So there you go. That is the hue and saturation, a very useful tool which I think you should play around with and learn how to use that one.